Carlos Sano with the pitch. Good night! For the third straight year, the road to the championship will pass through Barrie.
On the ground is short. Luther to Weisner to first in time. The Welland Jackfish are headed back to the Dominico Cup Finals in Game 5 as they knock off the Guelph Royals and return the favor from last season. Welland and Barrie will battle again.
Well, it looks like we have our final contenders for the Dominico Cup. The IBL Championship final has been set. It will be the Welland Jackfish and the Barrie Baycats rematch of 2 seasons ago. Welcome to the official IBL Final Preview podcast here with the IBL Inside Pitch. We got the gang back together. Mark Pare, Neil Srivastava.
Three are back.
Yes, indeed. Braeden Ferrington here as well. And Neil, we missed you. We missed you.
I missed you guys. I missed you guys.
No, you've been working, you know what, just to kind of get it out of the way here. Everybody knows we like to be personal here as well. And you know, you've been busy the last couple of weeks. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, just busy is an understatement. I think I was working on 3 hours sleep for like most of the last 2 weeks, just as far as getting everything else done for my actual real job. So it's been like, yeah, you know what, as much as I want to do everything and be on toes with baseball and everything else, and then it's like, oh yeah, by the way, I got to do like 9 hours of work on top of everything else. So it's just like, yeah, you know what, just needed to let the batteries, you know, something had to go, and unfortunately it was the podcast last week. So I apologize to everybody.
It is what it is. You had to recharge the batteries, much like Guelph had to recharge one of its batteries for a center field camera in game number 4. But again,
well, it's better than what I thought. I thought would happen. Like I thought for sure the camera got yoinked. I was like,
honestly,
oh my god,
that's what I thought too. I'm in the middle of calling the game. My producer David, right beside me, taps me on the shoulder, points it out, and immediately I'm getting on my phone, zooming in on where the camera should be. I see it. It looks like it's all right. Hasn't been touched. So no.
So I got a text message from somebody. The camera just gets stolen, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
what are the odds?
I had to catch my breath there for a second, and for the amount of work that I put in, not only to meet the general manager of the Kitchener Panthers, Shanif Hirani, on the side of Highway 7 at a gas station and pick up that camera on the afternoon during my lunch break. So I didn't eat whatsoever that day. So I'm running on no food whatsoever.
You're hangry.
I'm hangry at this point. Not to mention the hour and a half it took me to figure out how I'm going to rig it on the fence. That's so I can actually get right to home plate and have a half-decent shot.
Okay, back up the truck. You know I've got magnets, right? I got magnet mounts, right?
Neil.
Were you using zip ties?
You know I have magnet mounts, right? Like, all you do is pick the phone. Hey, I need 2 of these mounts. You would have been fine.
Now I know. Still figured it out, though. I mean, still figured it out. We were able to get those. We were able to get a clip-on mount.
Yeah.
Now, does that swivel? Does that? But it looks pretty small too.
It does the job. If you can put a full camera on it.
Well, maybe that'll be for next time, because it's big. It's a big enough camera, and we had to put it up high enough to make sure the camera didn't get stolen.
Yeah.
So we had to shoot through a fence. We had to clamp the camera onto a pole in behind the fence, shoot through the fence itself, find a hole, and then connect everything just to get it in there. You know what? We got a center field camera at the end of the day. I'm glad people liked it. For those that don't, I mean, go fly a kite. I'm just going to say that on the record here right now.
In the rain.
Yeah.
In the highway.
Mary Poppins just told you, let's go fly a kite. There we go. Yep.
And honestly, it ended up turning out into a fantastic series. The Welland Jackfish and the Guelph Royals. We're going to start with them. Welland, first of all, a big Game 5 win just about half an hour before we're recording this. And, well, guys, I say fantastic in quotations because, again, a whole lot of chatter off the field. The fan bases were rabid all throughout this series. These two teams hate each other, and that is an understatement and a half. It goes the full 5 games. It's a complete 180 from what we saw a year ago. Now all home teams end up winning this series. And really, the one thing that I scratch my head about is, yes, it was competitive, but boy, was it sloppy. Boy, was it sloppy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
On both sides, it wasn't a clean baseball game. You look at the runs, hits, and errors and everything else, and I think a lot of hometown scoring taking away some errors that probably should have been out there. There was also like using just mental errors, not even physical ones. There's a lot of mental errors. The guys were just running off base paths, running away in counts, things like that. Like just I don't know. Like for a semifinal series, it was very weird as far as just the errors and just things that weren't going the way you expect them to go either.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I did tune into a little bit of Game 4. A lot of pass balls, not catcher's fault on both teams. It was a lot of like spike pitches, and at that point, the guys on the mound that were throwing it, those are tough to even block because like those are coming in hard. So yeah, I don't know. It is what it is, but I don't think I've ever seen so many balls hit the back of Guelph Stadium there in Hastings in a long time. Like it's especially in one inning. I was like, oh wow, I've never seen.
Well, wasn't it like 4 in the inning that was got across the 4 runs? It was like 2 runs for Guelph. I was just like, it's like, okay, this is so weird. Like it's just I get guys were trying to pitch to avoid contact. They were trying to pitch. That's why they were spiking baseballs and everything else. They're just like, okay, I'm going to waste one down here. Hope he chases it in the dirt. And then hoping Robert can pick it up or whatever else. And that's not a shot at Robert or anything. Because heck, not in that place, man. And, we didn't have a lot of, again, that's another one of these fields where we didn't have a lot of rain this summer. So it's not soft. It's not going to give you the true bounce like it usually does. It's like playing on, like they said in Hamilton, it's like playing in a parking lot. So,
yeah. And then even like Game 5 here, like for how do I say it nicely? Because I don't know. Me being a pitcher, I'm going to be very blunt about this. For a team, it's almost a must-win because you're on the road. To produce, again, it's tough to say because these guys are going to say, oh, hitting's hard. To produce 3 hits in a must-win game, when your pitcher's kind of trying to keep you in this ball game, like, that's tough. That's tough. Like, you gotta figure that one out.
For that first inning, I didn't think Kush was going to get out of it. Like I thought, okay, he's hit 2 guys, give him a walk. They got the bases loaded. They got lucky on the call at the plate because I don't know. Like it's hard to say from Rosie and what Rosie saw and everything else, but it's just like I don't know if that call's right or not. Like, I don't want. I know the replay's out there. I'm not going to go look at it because I don't get a horse in the race. I don't have. It's just it's happened to me and it's kind of moved past it now.
And what for me it was kind of, I'm not gonna say funny, but like I was interested because I was texting a certain player on Barrie this morning talking about this game and who was gonna start, who was gonna come in, and like I thought for sure it would be again Claudio threw the day before. Yes, I get it. But I thought for sure he would at least start the game just to kind of get the feel and get the mojo for the boys rolling. And then said player said, well, what about Kush? And I'm like, well, yeah, like that is that's a great option. But in a must win, like I'm thinking you got to go with your heart and soul just to at least start the game, like as an opener. Like, yeah, he might not feel 100%, but maybe his 60 or 70% is better than some in this.
Well, we saw this not in 2022. Claudio pitched Game 4, and then he went out and started Game 5. He left with the lead in Game 5. So
like that's literally what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
And I look at the box score because obviously I didn't watch it early this game.
You have your own playoffs to deal with, Braeden.
Yeah, playoffs to deal with, and you know, you have a fiance you have to take. You know, you have to you got to share the remote once in a while. I get it.
Yeah, Bachelor in Paradise finale. It really took precedence on this night, but I was just shocked to see it. Honestly, I was like, man, like, I'm not gonna say what if now, but like, what if Claudio were to be the opener for this game? Maybe it would have changed it. I don't know, but hey, it's over now, so it is what it is.
No, and you know, I think the Jackfish were struggling offensively. A lot of guys were that whole heart of the order, 3, 4, 5. I think they had combined going tonight, not a lot of hits. So you know, it just seemed like the 6th inning, everything finally clicked. You know, you got Grayson Barrett out there. You got Brendan Luther setting the table for these guys. They tie it up and everything else, and then the big hitters come up. Porcelado comes through with a huge knock, the 2-run double that, you know, well, I guess it was technically a single and an error, but still, it's just like the big guys, when, you know, they have to rise to the occasion, they found a way to do it. That's what happened tonight. That's just what happened tonight.
Yeah, it was 1-1 for most of this game, and it really felt this, you know, could go either way. Guelph takes the lead, Welland responds, and then, Welland has that one big inning that ends up being the difference. And how many times have we said this season for many teams in this league, where you drop a big inning and that ends up being the ball game where you just can't recover?
Oh, exactly. And, you know, it's just, we've seen it far too many times. And, you know, it was almost like a reverse. It was like a year ago to the day, literally. And Andy hits that home run last year in the 6th inning. So, you know, hey, who says maybe karma justice just works around weird things in that ballpark in particular for some reason.
Well, exercising of demons, if you will. I have to ask about Game 3. What were your thoughts on Game 3 and just everything that happened in that one?
That was
Keep in mind, we don't want to get fined here.
No, it was just weird. We'll leave it at that. It was just like, you kind of go back, you look at it and go, okay, like what? No, I don't know. Like just things going all weird. And
the ejection, 2 bench clears. I think that game and some of the incidents in that game was a microcosm of what this rivalry is between Guelph and Welland, and something that we're going to be seeing for years to come. Because just to kind of get on the topic, first off, yes, congratulations to the Welland Jackfish. They will play in the IBL Championship Series. We'll get to them in just a moment because they still have some baseball to play here in 2025. But when you look at the Guelph Royals team and you look at that roster and the way it's constructed, these two teams are going to be battling like this, it seems like, for years to come. And quite frankly, I don't know what more Guelph could have done in terms of their roster construction coming into this playoff. I mean, they added the veterans, they added you know, some big bats, former pros. I mean, what more could Guelph have done other than, you know, maybe get a couple of guys earlier in the season to either, you know, develop chemistry or something or other, and, you know, maybe get a couple of more wins, you know, up the ladder, if you will. But even then, you're still in the semifinals and you're still playing Welland.
Yeah, well, exactly. Like you can't anticipate trying to be higher in the standings to try to avoid one in the semifinals, because you know it almost happened. It almost happened. If Barrie doesn't win that series, you don't see this semifinal matchup. It's totally different. It's the flip coin here as far as everything else. So, but it's hard. It's hard to say what they could have done differently. I think the problems that they had in the finals last year have reared their ugly head again. They just couldn't hit the baseball when they needed to, and that's not a one guy thing. That's a team running into just collectively going cold. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, they had 5 hits in the last 2 days, last 2 games, something like that. So, you know, you don't win many ball games when you get 5 hits.
Yeah.
You don't win a series when you get 5 hits either. So, you know, it's just, hey, you got to do something. And if you look at Game 4, if not for those wild pitches, Welland's winning that series in 4 anyways, 1-0.
Yeah. Well, and you flip the script on that one too. Like, going game by game here, blowout for Guelph in game number 2. Basically a blowout for Welland in game number 5. You have 2 whatever the heck you want to call those games in games 3 and 4 were just the errors kept piling up and just mistakes were on both sides and aplenty. And then you just go back to that game, to game 1 where Welland ends up setting the tone early and getting the game 1 win. And really that's the 5-game series in a nutshell.
Yeah. And I would love to see how the fans would react if this was a 7-game series. Would it gone the same way? Could Guelph rally back in game 6 or whatever else and force the game 7? You never know.
Yep.
But it's just the same time. It's just how this playoff series works and how the season works. So we're at hard deadlines. We got to be done by I think September 16th or something is the absolute drop dead date for this league because too many people are involved with hockey in the off season. So it's just like, it just happens. Just happens.
A preseason game to call tomorrow anyway. So this, as much as I would have loved Guelph to actually advance into the IBL final and possibly get a chance to actually have another, championship winning call, no matter which team it was, I'm burnt out, guys. I've called 35. I've called 35 games this year. I would bet good money to say that I called the most games in the Intercounty Baseball League this season at 35 games.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. No question.
Crazy.
So I'm just happy that, I mean, mixed feelings, sad that it's over, but happy that I can, go to hockey and, almost immediately just kind of turn the page over and say, great season, and then, go to a different sport and continue on. That's just the way it works.
No, I
like
think
technically, if you wanted to, you can say you did 36.
All-Star game?
You were on the broadcast for the All-Star game.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's say 36.
Okay, fine.
Why not? I
didn't do the math as far as 2 years ago when I was doing 3 teams or 4 teams at the same time. Yeah, it was just. I know it was up there. That was a very rough summer on everybody in this household.
The only reason why I know is I went through my good old Bobby Carpenter baseball scorebook. Every game that I did all season, exactly. I went through 35 pages. I didn't mark anything here for the All-Star game, so I counted 35 regular season and playoffs, and it's a lot of baseball. It's a lot of baseball, and definitely, a good season. And obviously, the season for 2 teams is not over as of yet, as let's turn the page over to the other series that happened, and a congratulations to the Barrie Baycats. They will make an IBL Championship appearance for yet another season. It feels like there's a trend there with them. Again, we'll get to them in just a moment. I'm going to do the same thing that I did with Welland. We'll talk about Barrie and Welland on the other side when we're previewing the IBL finals. Maybe we'll touch on them a little bit just in this series in that context. But when you look at this Barrie Hamilton series, I mean, Neil, you saw a little bit of it here. What went wrong for the Hamilton Cardinals in this series? And maybe what more went right for Barrie? I guess, is there more Barrie went right to Hamilton went wrong, or vice versa? I guess maybe take me a little bit inside on that.
Well, you start with the numbers, and you start with 13, which is, that's 13 errors in 3 ball games, and it's very hard to win ball games when you're making that many errors. You're giving a team that doesn't need extra outs, in very, very, very bad situations and everything else, and it's just like it was hard. Like you could tell. I chalk up game 1 to being nervous and everything else. You got a runner at first. You got a runner at third in the first inning, and you don't bring him home. You got a leadoff double by Josh Williams in the second inning. You don't get him to third base. So it's just little things that come back to bite you and everything else as far as that stuff goes. And then you have. It wasn't the pitcher's fault, like as far as some stuff. Yeah, there were situations later in later stages in some of these games where it's just like, okay, fine, they're gonna hit us. They're gonna hit us hard. But it's hard. It's hard as far as that stuff goes. And then the bats weren't there. Again, it's just they put up a 15 spot against Chatham Kent, and then whole team went dry, like totally cold. Like it didn't make any sense. Like there were some guys doing what they could do and everything else, but it was just like it didn't seem like it was on the same page anymore. I'm not sure what happened there, what broke down as far as this stuff goes, but it's just like, okay, yeah. Like they just kind of shrugged their shoulders in game 1 and say, okay, well, we got Owen going game 2. We should be okay. And then the first inning happens, and it's 2-0 Barrie because there's errors behind Owen, and it's just like, okay, so now we're behind, and we don't know how to play from behind right now. We just don't. And it was hard. It was hard to watch, but at the same time, we have a job to do. We call the games and be very opinionated and everything else, and it's just like, okay, so it wasn't our year. How do we fix this going next year? How do you fix this? What needs to change?
I guess that's the question I'm going to pose to you, Neil. What needs to change?
And
Hot seat.
it's hard. It's a hard thing. It's just,
Yeah.
Well, I know there were some off-field stuff that we're not going to talk about and everything else because again, it's just not our place to do so. But it's just there was some disharmony there. Let's just put it that way. And I don't know if that became a distraction to some guys and everything else, or it's just maybe it's a language barrier too because now we've got a very strong Dominican there as far as contingent out there and everything else. And that's not a bad thing because those guys were all gamers. They all went out there and gave their all as much as they could and everything else. But I also think they just felt a lot of pressure as well, just because, again, it was like, okay, we don't got all these pieces and everything else, but it didn't seem to gel. So it's like, okay, yeah, how do we fix those pieces that didn't gel without, up turning over this roster too? And then you lose Tanner Rempel 2 times to concussion syndrome in the playoffs. Like he took 2 balls off the head. So, it's just like, yeah, okay, yeah. He's a big part of this lineup. He's the glue at first base. Literally. And that's not a shot against Nico Kakatos because he did great as far as anything else. He was hitting the ball and doing everything else he could to help this team win. But it's just, yeah, it's not Tanner Rempel at first base. So guys, got accustomed to things. You got Jaden Brown playing third base. He was doing a great job. He's learning the position on the fly. So it's just like, okay, yeah, he's learning. He's going to realize, okay, I don't have to charge this ball. The nickel's going to get this one at shortstop, everything else. And then he'd rush throws and stuff. That happens. It's, guys playing new positions. Then you flip the coin, you go to the other side of that field, and you go, you're playing a very veteran team that's been down through this road last 3 seasons. So, nothing seems to phase these guys. They stay on the same even keel emotionally and everything else. And emotion didn't get the best of them. So that's probably what the other thing is. Whereas Hamilton, the slightest thing goes wrong, and you got Hamilton's getting thrown, you got doors being slammed, you got things going everywhere, gloves getting tossed and dugouts and stuff. But yeah, it's just you got to control your emotions in these series. I think that's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Do you think they underestimated Cesar Rosado in Game 1? Just knowing that it wasn't Frank Garces?
I think they were expecting Cesar to be the same guy that was in the regular season, but they didn't see postseason Cesar like we did last year. That guy just
lights out.
He just dialed it in. The breaking ball was ungodly like it was last year. Like you and I saw that from the top of the press box last year. It was just ungodly. I'm just like, okay, yeah, he's back. So, it's just like this. And then it's like, and Frank goes out there and does Frank things. And it's just, okay, yeah, it's a master class. It's a master class. Doesn't have his best stuff, but still knows how to get you out.
Yeah, well, I thought it was entertaining because I did get a video clip of our previous podcasts from a certain player who shall be unnamed, and I'm gonna read it word for word what he's told.
God.
Okay,
it was funny. It was funny. I was like,
"Is this the one you showed me?"
Nope, this literally came in yesterday.
Okay.
This is when Neil wasn't here. This was a recent pod.
Okay.
I'm not in the hot seat for this one. Okay.
No. He goes, Farrington's cold takes. I go, okay, you're right.
Oh no.
You're right.
Oh no.
You're right.
Oh no.
Right. It is regarding a certain. I can't even talk about it, but it's regarding a certain, game over situation when player is set on mound. And yeah, I go, you're right. With a little like emoji, like, So I had a good laugh at that. It is what it is. BYA, at least they're watching the podcast.
Yep.
Yeah, we're getting the views up.
Getting the views up.
Yeah.
Well, we like getting the views up, those algorithms up, and have it show up on the feed a little bit more. Hit like, hit subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and like us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm still calling it Twitter. The heck with Elon Musk. It's not X to me, it's Twitter, just like it's still Skydome to many people, not Rogers Center.
Yeah.
But show us some love. We definitely appreciate it and continue to tune in. When you look at the Barrie Baycats, guys, again, Cesar Rosado was ungodly in
Yeah.
game number 1. And it really just feels like this three-headed monster is really, starting to rear its ugly head yet again for these Cats. Because, Frank Garces, like you said, Neil, did Frank Garces things. And then you go to Juan Benitez in game number 3, and, he was lights out as well.
Yeah.
The-
Why even
you
go
know,
back to last
all
year?
due respect to the hitting.
Yeah.
I said it on a podcast at the beginning of this season. The three-headed monster is the heart and soul of this team, and it's showing yet again here in these playoffs.
Oh, it is, because like I go back to last year and Guelph in that series and everything else, they figured they're okay. If we don't win the first 2 games, like, they first game 1 last year, extra innings, everything else, odd with the heroics, could have gone either way. Guelph had their chances early in the inning before that and everything else. It just unfortunately didn't work out. But then you go, you're in the Guelph camps and everything else. Okay, we got Frank game. We got to get figure out Cesar in this game too at home. Okay, couldn't do it. And then it's like they go back to Barrie expecting to take out Juan Benitez early, and Juan goes out there and just goes into playoff Juan mode and says good night, goodbye, just goodbye. And then he does the same thing against Hamilton in this series too. And it's just like, yeah, I've seen this. I know this script. I know how this goes. So it's just like, yeah, this is over fast.
But I will say that's a sign of, again, guys that have been around.
Yeah.
Right. Like they know how the lay of the land works versus, say, a team that really doesn't have a whole lot of play of experience. Yeah, they might have baseball resume experience, but the IBL is a grind in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know how to navigate that path, like, it is a bumpy road.
Yeah, no question. I think the Cardinals will be better for their experiences this year and everything else, but it's just, they took their lumps this year. Like as far as the second round, I think they were just, I don't say they underachieved because it's hard to gauge whatever, injuries, whatever else. Like you can pick any excuse you want to pretty much, and you can all fly them all up the flagpole as far as that stuff goes. But we're waiving this one this year.
Yeah. Well, that's the semifinals, guys. Any more thoughts on that Barrie Hamilton series? Any kind of notable moments that come to mind? I mean, obviously not as many fireworks as we saw in the Guelph Welland series per se, but was there really anything that was kind of notable about this series, or did you just feel like Barrie turned it on in the beginning and just kind of cruised?
Well, I think the Barrie Baycats got the big scare out of the way early. You go back to game 1 of that series against Toronto, even it's just like, okay, they locked out. Let's just be honest. They got a wild pitch and a freakish combination of plays after that on that same play that allowed the winning run to come home. It's just like, okay, so that happens. So if they don't win that ball game, Toronto wins that series. So you look at that and go, okay, they got their lucky stars, they got their lucky charms, whatever you want to call it. Karma decided to reverse the curse, whatever it is. But they got out of that first series, and I think they realized what it takes to win in this postseason. And I think that's the mindset going into game 5 in that first game, that first series, and everything else. And then, it just transpired. It kept carried over because, again, it was such a short downtime too. It was like, okay, we don't have a lot of time to rest on our laurels here. We got to go out and start the second series here. Well, they're going to have this time going into the finals, which we'll talk about after the break and everything else. Yeah. So they had a little more time off than the other team. So it's going to be okay. Yeah, see how it goes.
Yeah, I think the cool thing too is like the attendance numbers were up from what I've seen.
Yeah,
from previous, right? Like, I've pitched in Hamilton and in Barrie in playoffs in previous years, but I don't ever recall seeing that amount of people in either one of those stadiums for a playoff game. So I thought that was pretty cool and very noteworthy.
No question it is. Hamilton, I believe, hit new attendance marks. I think they're with over 31,000 on the season now. So, it's great to see that thing growing and everything else. And We're not quite at 3,000 in a set. We didn't quite have a sellout as far as everything else at 3,000 or whatever it is. But yeah, it was very nice to see. The fans were very vocal and everybody was into it, and it's great to see. And it's like those are the kind of memories you take away from sitting up in the box and everything else, where you just you kind of take it in for like a couple minutes. You don't say anything on the air when during a station break or whatever else. You just kind of take it in and say, okay, yeah. You look around and go, okay, I remember how this place used to be when there's like 12 people here.
Oh yeah, ghost town.
No, I remember like you could go down through the stands and say, oh, there's Jimmy, there's Joyce, and whatever else. I haven't seen this guy forever, but it's great to see him still out here.
I think Neil's just making up names at this point.
Oh yeah, I don't know who any of those people are. So I don't know who those people are. But no, you'd see the regulars and everything else, and you got to shout out to the Hamilton Cardinals fan guy on Instagram. Like always, very entertaining, very very entertaining, and it's great to see. And this was his first year following the team, so he just hit the ground running and took off. They ran with it. There's 4 of them that do this whatever combination and everything. They got a team there, but it's great to see. I hope more teams get somebody like that that's dedicated and devoted to that sort of thing. And then you got to shout out Mike, the sign guy, too, because as much as he's at every game though, even on the road. Like sometimes he made trips to various places this year, and he got seen. You can't miss his signs. You just can't.
No.
Nor can you miss his drum.
Some great memories for sure, and obviously Hamilton doing a great job of hosting the All-Star Showdown earlier on this year. So just curious to see what the Hamilton Cardinals have in store for 2026. Well, we bid adieu to the Guelph Royals and the Hamilton Cardinals, and Neil, I guess we get to be neutral this time around.
Yeah, we
don't
have horses in the
IBL
race
final
this year. Like this is kind of weird. This is very weird. Yeah.
Welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party.
Now, honestly, even if we had a horse in the race, we'd still be neutral anyway, because that's just how we're operated. Yeah. Yeah, that's just how we're wired.
It'd be nice to get something for this finger or one of those fingers one of these years, but
Yeah, I don't have a woman in my life, so I'd like to get a ring somehow.
And not a ring pop. There we go.
Those are good, by the way. Those are really good.
They don't last in my house. They don't. The kids, I'll get them. It's like, oh, we got ring pops. They're all gone.
Wait, what's your flavor of choice?
It's got to be the blue one, just because I think I always get stuck with the blue one. I always get stuck with the blue one.
Oh wow, we're talking about ring pops here. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, you can tell. For the record, it's 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, we're recording. So people might be thinking, "Oh, why are you doing this on 11 o'clock at night on?" The finals don't start till Saturday, guys. Well, again, I have an OHL preseason game to call tomorrow night, so I'm busy. So it was either tonight at 11 o'clock or tomorrow night at 11 o'clock. And that's also a reason why
at 11 o'clock, I'm cracking open that box behind me and I'm playing something. So, that's the point.
Yeah, and that's also a reason why we don't have any special guests on the podcast this week. Obviously, thank you to all of them that showed up in the last couple of weeks to do these playoff previews and whatnot. But again, just a tight timeline for us to get this out, because I know we do have a dedicated fan base out there that love what we put out, no matter what time of year it is or what time of night it is. It seems. Getting text messages at 2 o'clock in the morning after a podcast drops. I mean, we know you're watching at all hours of the night, and we appreciate you all for doing that. But obviously, thanks again to Thomas West, Reese Dumani, Julius Hearn. Obviously, those latter two are going to be quite busy over the next week or so with the IBL finals. You go down the list, everybody that was able to chip in during the IBL playoffs. The thank yous are endless.
Exactly. It's just like everybody always reached out and say, hey, do you need something else or whatever else? Or they chime in on a broadcast to send you a note, just to pass on something. Hey, we didn't cover it in our broadcast. Hey, use this or whatever else. And Julius was nice enough to step in on Sunday's telecast and everything else, and just, second seat, where actually took over the role. And it was fun. It was fun to call a game with Julius.
Yeah, I was even in this series, despite the bad blood between Guelph and Welland, just letting you know, there's no bad blood on the broadcaster side.
No.
I was exchanging messages with Reese all throughout the series when it came to just notes and all the chaos, just trying to make sense of everything. And yeah, it's I think I said it in a post beforehand, but I think it kind of reigns true in this situation here as well, that it really does take a village to put a lot of this stuff
Oh, yeah.
together.
Oh, no
And
question.
we have
No question.
we have
it
one of
does.
we have one of the best teams all together. All 9 IBL broadcast squads here in the league, like unbelievable people, great people.
Mhm. Oh yeah. And there's gonna be some of these youngsters that are gonna go out and do things.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so great to look back at them probably 5 to 10 years down the road and go, okay, I remember when he used to call games here. And
Yeah.
now you're
Mhm.
seeing them doing Sunday Night Baseball. You're seeing them doing whatever. It might
Dan
be in
Shulman,
French, but he's doing it.
Dan Shulman's
Good French,
boy,
yeah.
Ben
Yeah.
Shulman,
Yeah,
for example.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. And it's great to see these guys getting their feet wet here, cutting their teeth in this league, and then going on to better things.
Yeah. Might seem I'm overly pandering here to people, but
No.
fact of the matter is we have a great set of players. And you know what? Before we even get to the IBL finals, I'm just gonna say again, we don't have a horse in the race. I don't care who wins. I really don't.
Yep.
It's either going to be Welland winning their second championship in 3 seasons or Barrie going back to back. That's the reality of the situation. I don't have a horse in the race. I'm not getting a ring at the end of the day. I'm still getting the same amount of money at the end of the day at the end of the season as well. But I got to see Barrie call the final out a couple of years ago.
Yep.
I obviously had the honor of doing that last season.
Mhm.
I really hope Alec and Reese get to have that call and add that to that demo reel.
I think
Because
so.
I think that's also another part of this too, is because these are opportunities for these broadcasters to add to their demo reels, that so they can get to that next level. And I really like to see different broadcasters get that opportunity every single year. And after I was able to do it last year, I think I said it on the Voices of Our Game thing that we did at the beginning of the season, that was the most memorable thing to me, to be able to add that to my demo reel, to have a final call in the IBL Championship Series. It's only been a handful of us that have been able to do that. I hope Alec and Reese get to do that, and that's with all due respect to Ben and Julius and the team over there in Barrie.
Yeah.
Just because they got to do it a couple of years ago, I just want to see somebody different get that call and get that opportunity.
Oh, exactly.
And I will say this, from a player standpoint, hearing the voice and the call of a final game and a last out, like I was fortunate to see and listen to the 2021 finals. Like that stuff still gives me goosebumps.
Mhm.
Like that was super cool. Like 22, there may have been an issue with the broadcast.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it is what it is. We got to see the final out, which is super cool.
Yeah. Just missed the entire comeback.
Just the entire comeback.
Yeah.
But hey, it is what it is. But from a player, like for me, I'm like, those words bring me back to like that exact moment and how I was feeling. And I think it's super cool because, like, again, will I ever have that opportunity? I'm gonna say probably not to be the voice. Like that's just not in my deck of cards ever. Like you guys are really good at what you do. I am not very good at that. So I hope Reese and Alec get to do that call for the first time because like Alec is gonna take it to the next level.
Someone get that man like 5 packs of Halls.
Yeah,
like
Halls
I've
or whatever
seen
he needs.
his voice and his tone hasn't changed all season. What's his tone gonna be like on a championship call?
I kind of want to be there.
I'm legitimately worried about him. I hope he gets the call.
Reese, I want you to put
I
it
hope
on
he
your
gets
cell
the
phone
call.
because I want to see his face. You got to flip the cell phone on, put it down in front of both of you guys because I want to see his face.
Oh man, that mullet's gonna be just moving. He's just talking. It's gonna be going.
Legitimately, for all the right reasons, I hope they get the call, but also for his health and safety, I hope Barrie also gets that call.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man.
But legitimate.
You couldn't ask for a better pairing in the finals to call this games. Like Ben and Julius are very knowledgeable. They do a lot of research, and Julius and Reese do a great, and Alec and Reese just do a good job. But having everything else, it's going to be a very good series from both sides of your call.
Yeah, and I'm curious if like they're in communication doing maybe like a cross collaboration.
Maybe.
That would be crazy, having all 4 of them in the booth.
Maybe what you do is, and I mean, these 2 teams are loaded with equipment, unlike some other teams, but I'm just getting off topic there.
Yeah.
So you get a handheld mic, you get a wireless mic. Alec and Reese travel to Barrie. They can be sideline reporters at Barrie, and then Julius and Ben can do the same thing in Welland.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's possible.
It's possible.
It is possible. Now we got something going here.
Just putting that out there, guys.
So
we're idea men
here.
here.
An idea of just doing like a kind of a what the Barnstormers guys did. And we're doing like I'm not going to call it a barn cast or anything, but I was thinking about maybe for Saturday night for the home game or something, we'll have an alternate cast on. We'll have those guys up on it, obviously, but and we'll just chime in between innings or something and have some fun with it. I don't know. It just depends on what's going on as far as my work schedule and stuff and whatever else. But yeah,
let's see here. I'm off this weekend, guys.
Well, it could happen then.
Road trip.
Ooh.
Let's see what's going on. Yeah, we should be able to. We'll see what's going on.
This could get dangerous.
If we can't hit the road, and I mean it's in Welland, so Ryan Harrison, give us some internet, please. Give us some internet.
And just think,
we got an access point sitting here right on my desk, so we don't have a problem.
Okay, fair.
I could wear the Jackfish hat with the Barrie shirt.
Oh man.
There you go. There you go.
I could cheer on both teams.
Okay, Mama Kelsey.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Hey,
Just the divided shirt.
I'll be cheering on my boy Mullen, and I'll be cheering on my boy Jaco. Boom. Yeah. Both those catchers caught career years for me.
There you go.
What better way for me to show up?
That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Well, let's talk about the finals a little bit more, guys. We're just going to skip the commercials this time around. You don't want to hear me. It's going to be skipped over anyway. But if you want to insert a commercial, reach out to us, iblinsidepitch@gmail.com, because when you do, we will put a commercial in at this point in time to go from the past to the future. With the IBL Finals preview, here we are right now. It is Barrie and Welland, guys. And when you look at this matchup, the tail of the tape, Welland dominated the season series for the most part, although Barrie did get a win in there. Welland outscoring Barrie in the season series as well. What do you guys feel are going to be the X factors here in the IBL Finals?
Barrie hasn't played well at Welland Stadium in the last 2 years.
No.
Ever since they won the championship, they haven't played well there in the last couple of years. So they got to figure a way. They got to steal at least one there, anyways. So they got to figure out how to steal one, maybe 2. But I don't know how they're going to do that because I don't know. The Jackfish seemed, like I said in Game 5, they finally got the bats going when they needed to. So the Sanfords, the Morellos, the Porcelatos of the world, their bats aren't cold now, so yeah, it's going to be a hard series.
Yeah, I think the big X factor outside of the hitting, because I think both teams in the semifinal matchups, the hitting kind of got contagious with throughout their whole order. I think this is going to be a matter of not just the starting pitchers. This is going to be a bullpen thing, because what if, say, something happens to one of the starters that gets knocked out early? Yeah. Someone in the bullpen has to step up and hold this thing together, because as of right now, I think the bullpen right now is going to be leading obviously toward Welland. Welland brought in Pedro de los Santos. That's your guy right now. Coming out of the pen, he's a length guy, just in case, God forbid something happens. But that's your insurance policy as a starter. He's going to give you some innings here. And then obviously if, say, something, doesn't happen, he's just a lefty that can throw curveballs. So good luck trying to hit that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's gonna come down to the bullpens. And like Sanoa's been great for Barrie. Like he's as good as ever right now. So it's how do you get the game to him?
Yep.
Where Welland has weapon A, B, and C, then Mendez.
Yeah.
So that's my own personal take. I don't know. Maybe I'm just selfish because I'm a pitcher, but
No, I think you're you're very accurate as far as this stuff goes, because it's just like, okay, Barrie, like Hamilton failed to get into Barrie's bullpen, and that's the difference in this series. If they got into the bullpen earlier, they might have been able to turn this tide a little bit as far as this stuff goes. But it's just the starters went out there and did their job.
Yeah.
To a man out there, and it's like, even then when it was like, okay, Frank, he wasn't his best, but still, it's just like he was enough. He was good enough to get him through there and everything else. And then they go to Braden Packlet. He does a great job out there. It's just like, okay, yeah, okay. And they go to Sano. So it's like, okay, yeah, we're not hitting this thing right now.
exactly.
Do you see this being a low-scoring series with the amount of pitching talent that are on both of these sides?
Outside of game one, probably. Like you're going to see Frank game one.
Oh yeah.
So he's going to probably keep it. Probably it's going to be I can see that be a 2-1, 3-1 ball game.
Yeah.
It's going to be decided late in that one. For some reason, I think it's just going to be something's going to go either way. I'm not sure which way it's going, but something's going to go either way here.
Yeah.
You're going to see
it's probably a pass ball or something like quirky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like both teams, they're known to make errors. So it's just okay. Yeah, who can capitalize on the errors? Who can make the most of the mistakes they're given on the field? The stuff goes. I think in game 2 and 3 and everything else, I think Welland will have to adjust better to how Cesar has been pitching. They seem to do well against Benitez in the past, but it's just, again, it's playoff one versus it's not the same guys. It's not the same Cesar as it was in the regular season either. So if these guys can keep their playoff mentalities, keep their playoff focus and everything else, I think they're a different factor here. But again, it's just going to be the off the field factor as well. Is you're going to Welland Stadium, which is very loud.
Yeah.
And they were loud tonight. There wasn't a lot of people in there. Like it was probably a lower number. Like they were joking on the broadcast tonight. We had more people watching on YouTube. We have in the stands.
Yeah.
Well,
it's because nobody figured it was going to be a game 5.
Well, exactly.
They thought Welland was going to take game 4, and that was it.
They literally had like 24 hours to sell tickets for game 5.
Yeah.
So it's
that's the nature of the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. So it happens, and then if with the rain this morning, everything else, they probably people were just like, okay, you know what? If it does happen, we're going to stay home anyways, because the field's going to be a mess and it's cold. It's a school night, and it's like, yeah, there's myriad of things going on. It's a Thursday night. It's not like it's a Friday or something where the kids don't have to go up and be somewhere the next morning.
Yeah, Niagara Ice Dogs playing up the road in a preseason game same night as well. I don't think that was much of a factor, to be honest with you, but
no,
there's something else happening in Niagara region, which doesn't happen a whole lot. Especially with the Jackfish getting to have all their fans to themselves in the summertime, not having to deal with the conflicts with the Niagara Ice Dogs. Although, shout out to the Niagara River Lions for winning the IBL Championship as well for the second year in a row. So there's something cooking in Niagara region right now.
Yeah,
and it seems like the Welland Jackfish are part of that train, if you will.
Mm-hmm. And you look at the other side of the fence. The Barrie Baycats fans have to be a lot more vocal. They have to be a lot louder. Like as far as they were loud in game 2 or game 1 and game 3, but it wasn't really that loud. Like it's like, okay, yeah, we're in the playoffs, whatever else. But you got to be loud. You got to be more vocal. Like I shouldn't be able to hear the announcers over top of you guys.
Yeah, that's a tough go.
Yeah.
When I look at this playoff, guys, I think about both of these teams, and both of them have shown some good and some bad and some ugly. And really, I feel like it really depends on which iteration of these two teams show up here in the IBL final. That's going to make the huge difference. Do you see the Welland Jackfish of game number 5 against Guelph and in that 3-game series against Kitchener? Or do you see the Welland Jackfish that you saw in games 3 and 4? And let me tell you right now, if you see Welland playing like they did in games 3 and 4 of that series against Guelph, forget about it. Barrie's winning their second straight championship because that's just too sloppy to win a championship any day of the week. And I'll say that
Yeah.
for any team whatsoever. But on the flip side, you go to the Barrie Baycats. Do you see round one, Barrie, where there were some doubters, especially with the dropping games 2 and 3 to Toronto? Or do you see where they found their stride in round 2 against Hamilton? Which one of these teams are going to show up and show up at the right time? And that's really the reason why I'm not really going to make much of a prediction here, because I think this is going to be a toss-up of a series, despite what happened in the season series.
Yeah. I think the keys of this series, from both sides, if I go Welland, you got to look at Ben Abrams. You got to look at Lair. You look at Luther, Wisner, look at Porcelato, and maybe even Gio Morello. Those guys are all dialed in. It's going to be good for Welland. You go to the other side for Barrie. You look at the Hernandez brothers. Look at Macabroda, and you look at what Tristan Clark's doing. Tristan Clark's been phenomenal this postseason. Everything else, if you can keep the fires going and everything else, the other role guys and everything else, the Adam Odds of the world, who don't get a lot of credit, and they just hit home runs when they need to.
Yeah.
But I love you to death, Audie. So keep doing what you're doing.
For me personally, it's gonna come down to it's gonna be a 7-game series. That's just the nature of the beast, I feel.
So whoever can play the most perfect baseball when it counts.
Yeah. And Mark, unlike you, I'll put a prediction out there.
Okay.
I'll put a prediction out there. I got Barrie winning back to back here.
Okay.
That's just a hot take.
Bulletin board, Welland locker room right here. Okay.
Perfect.
Farrington's picture going up on the wall. I can see that happening.
Perfect. Won't be the first time, won't be the last. I just think honestly, go ahead.
No, I'll let you finish, and then I got something for you.
I'm gonna let you finish. There you go.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah.
But Beyonce had.
Yeah. That's like 4 Taylor Swift references tonight. Jesus, we're bad.
It's gonna come down to literally a series of plays. And it's going to come in late in the game. That's literally what it's going to be. It's going to go back and forth. It's like, Mark, we were alluding to when we were watching Game 5 of that Toronto Barrie series.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The little flip that brought him off the base. That was it.
Yeah.
That wrote the whole game off. That at that point, you just knew it was done. That's what it's going to come down to. And I got Barrie winning it. Just a gut feeling. I do have a T-shirt that says I'm a closet Baycat fan. Well, I got represented somehow. Matlow really worked hard on that, so
yeah.
I feel like I should do
There's
that.
a story behind that logo, but that's beside the point.
Yeah. So because obviously the next time we're going to be doing this is after a champion is crowned.
Yeah.
I would assume that you're for the next one, you're either going to be wearing that shirt or you're going to be wearing the Welland flannel.
Yeah,
or the Welland shirt.
That's cool. I'll do whatever because I am a free agent. I will wear whatever shirt from this league possible. I'm down. I'm cool with that. So
I got a Guelph and Kitchener hat behind me if you want to wear those too.
No, I go winners only. Sorry.
Winners only.
I don't do rebuilds. I don't do losing teams. Winners only.
Welland and Barrie, they are in the winning position right now. They are the top 2 teams in the regular season, and they, of course, are the 2 finalists for the Intercounty Baseball League Championship in 2025. Neil, do you have a prediction for this series?
Oh, man. This is
actually
hard.
First of all, how many games, Braeden, for Barrie?
You said it was going 7.
It's going 7?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You gotta get the money's worth here.
Absolutely.
All the fans, all the money's in the world. I gotta be at a couple games. So
can you imagine how wild the pond's gonna be if it goes 7 and the game's there?
Yeah.
Again, game 7, someone check on Alec. Please. Worried about his safety.
Yeah, exactly.
And before anybody kind of gets at me and gets hot on me and going into my DM saying I'm giving him a little bit too much, me and Alec are cool.
Yeah.
And I'm just showing him love. I'm just worried about him. Because again, I got a deal for the next 6 months with another broadcast colleague of mine that has Steve Dangle wondering if he's going to be still breathing by the end of the year. But that's my other position. Anyway, Neil, your prediction.
Oh, my prediction. I see it going 6, and honestly, it's just, I think like Braeden said, it's going to come down to little things. It's going to come down to a series of plays or plays that don't get made. And it's just going to be something that's going to come out. But I'm going to take the Welland Jackfish in 6.
All right.
All right, Mark, your turn.
All right. All right.
What now?
Well, Barrie in 7.
Nice.
Barrie in 7. I like that. I think every home team wins until game 7, and Barrie ends up winning a close one at the pond. To just break some hearts. Just breaking hearts at home. And honestly, if that ends up happening, you thought that there was a revenge tour this season for the Welland Jackfish after losing in the semis last year?
No. Yeah.
26, you better watch out.
That would be 5 ranking references to Taylor tonight. Jeez. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she's got a ring now, guys. I have to reference her. Yeah. Now, these two teams are looking for some rings, and, well, guys, that has been another episode of the IBL Inside Pitch this week, unless we go back to the airing of grievances. Anything you need to get off your plates here while we still have you?
I think we're okay. I think enough of the IBL fan page has got enough grievances going this week to last a while. So, it's just like nothing like getting text messages at 7 o'clock in the morning from 3 other teams going, "Did you see what so-and-so posted?" I'm just like, it's too early for this, first of all. But how you been?
Yeah.
I will say my video got a lot of views. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
That was surprising.
Actually, you know what? It's not even an airing of grievances. Braeden, just give us some insight on how you're doing here. Obviously, you've been pitching all summer. Just take us a little bit inside on what you're doing here right now and just how things are going for you. And how's the arm?
Yeah, it's still there. We finished second in the Ontario Championship. We lost in the finals, obviously. But that weekend, I threw 332 pitches in 48 hours, which is ungodly.
That's crazy.
But that's not on anyone's fault. That was my call because I knew the ramifications. I knew how my body was feeling because I've seen this before. So I knew how to pace myself. So
have we, by the way.
Yeah, you're right. So I threw 2 complete games, had a bullpen appearance. That was Friday, Saturday, and then I came back on the Sunday, pitched, started the gold medal game, threw 5 innings, and then I literally walked off, and I was like, I'm out. I physically cannot walk anymore. Like I'm done. Like, my body hurts, which is cool. We lost, whatever, 7-5. Tough go.
Hey,
that's
baseball.
Yeah, we're in the middle of our MOSBL playoffs right now, semifinals. Currently, we're up 1-0 in the semis. We won 13-2 the other night. So
there you go.
Threw 9 pitches, so that was fun. That was the video that's on the Facebook fan page. Threw 9 pitches that outing.
My goodness. And you got a lot of love from your former teammates and some fans of the London Majors in that game too, I understand.
Yeah, we had a lot of Majors fans show up to that game. Love them to death. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Took you all a year to show up to watch some former Majors. So it was kind. It was appreciated by all parties. Yeah. Some of them watch this podcast, so that's cool. So I know they're gonna chime in on that part. So I'll make it all come.
Hey, maybe it'll take a year for them to chime in to kind of give you a little bit some leeway.
Yeah, exactly.
It's nothing but love, guys. I mean,
nothing but love, though.
really, that's I think at the end of the day that I think something that I've learned, especially in the last, I'd say 48, 72 hours, that y- you can do so much more by just being kind and respectful to one
Yep.
another instead of just, tearing each other down. And it's just unneeded, really. And you know what? At the end of the day, the conversation should be where it should be, and that is on the diamond and the plays that are, happening. And, the fans should be talking about the games themselves and the way they're played and helping their teams, providing them some energy instead of just focusing on the little things. That's
Yeah.
again, I'm not going to get into the middle of it anymore at this point in time. I've already wasted enough breath in the last 3 days on it. But the fact of the matter is, be kind to yourselves and each other, and we'll see you next time on the IBL Inside Pitch.